What's poppin' YouTube? Grizzly Sculpt 950. In this video we're going to review all the unreleased Pokemon from the 1997 Gold and Silver demo. It's been over 20 years and we finally have access to what could have been or wasn't until a later generation. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, comment, follow my Twitter link in the description. Any amount of support is appreciated. Demo 152 to 251. Many of these Pokemon are unique to this demo and ended up cut from the final game. While the Pokedex numbers are usually different, the final incarnation of these Pokemon, if known, are provided for comparison. As you can see, some of these are alternate sprites of Pokemon that currently exist, others were completely scrapped. There are 100 of these, we'll take it from the top. Chikorita and Meganium are relatively the same except for a slightly different color palette, and the petals surrounding Meganium's neck are green instead of red. I prefer the one we ended up with. However, what's with a Bayleaf? Hardly looks like an evolution. Looks like a flower blooming or something. I don't know. But next, we have a bear whose back sprite looks like a red Raichu. Evolutions look amazing. I suppose the last one resembles Arcanine too much, so they decided to remove it. A family of sea otters would have been cool. Not a big fan of the Oshawott line. Aquarius, now that's a name. Hoothoot. Hoothoot's the same. Noctowl's design here is simplified, however I like it just as much. Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos, not much going on there. Baby Vulpix evolves at level 13. Looks good, however not necessary. Next we have Tangela and Tangrowth. It's crazy how they've held off on some of these evolutions. I love Tangrowth. Happy they brought it back. Mantine looks like it could use some work. Glad they improved on it. Gotta respect those Pufflets. Same goes with Quillfish, looking great. They had an evolution for this as well? Oh man, I hope they bring it back someday. Pichu, Cleffa, and Igglybuff, But your boy Quagsire looking obese, he put it on pounds. I see why they had to redraw it. Natu and Xatu are better, green. Xatu's original back sprite is taller. Baby Goldeen evolves at level 16. We have Marrow. You know what? Marrow's shiny should be blue instead of yellow. That would be even more dope. Keep the pink, make it shiny blue, or have it reversed. I don't care, I just want pink Marrow, alright? Mambu evolves into an anchorfish, whom evolves into Grotesque, and they're both water steel. I want that so much. It looks majestic and almost loyal when you look at it closely. Crobat became more purple with some wing adjustments. Baby Paris. What do you mean? Paris is smaller than this even. This thing is sitting on top of a mushroom and Paris is living underneath one. How is that an evolution? Spinarak and Ariados? They look creepy. Happy they changed the color scheme on Ariados is great. Red and purple, I'm all for it. Skarmory was shaded to resemble steel a little more. Cool. Ditto evolution? Okay, that looks wrong. I wonder how the mechanics would work. Would it still transform and copy a Pokemon's stats? Or would it do its own thing? Not sure. Baby Doduo. Too many feathers, enough said. Kinda looks like an early version of Rufflet. That's one, Yellow Sunflower. Prefer the final cut. Green with yellow face and petals. Grass and Psychic would have been interesting, although that brings in more weaknesses because Psychic and Grass aren't very good defensive typings by themselves. Phanpy with a curled trunk and Dolphin that was brown. Like the final decision on both of these. Twins, dark and normal type. Shouldn't it be ghost normal? One of these days we'll get that broken typing, I'm sure. But Girafarig, now this right here 100% would prefer twin giraffes, black and yellow. By the sound of that, you already know they had concerns with how this would be perceived by the general public. But come on, that would have been perfect, like that old cartoon cat dog. I want this so much for Girafarig. Oh well, Smeargle can paint itself a different coat. Baby Meowth, so cute. That would make Meowth in the anime feel so much more accomplished with himself because he doesn't want to become Persian. A dark type cat with a bell for a tail. Interesting. However, Purloin and Liepard are decent enough. What happened to Politoed? Evolves with a Heartstone? I like that. He looks like a king, making the King's Rank evolution more fitting. Slowking and Unknown, not too much to say there. Ladybug and Ledian. The original Ladybug shrunk after evolving. Prefer the one on the right more. Baby Ponyta. Normal type. Looks about the same as regular Ponyta. Don't see much point in it. Yellow Espeon evolves with Heartstone and Umbreon with a Poison Stone. Poison type Umbreon, just about as cool as a dark type. A Slowking Shell. I always wondered why that wasn't considered its own thing. A shell that bites on a Slowpoke on the head or tail, triggering evolution. However, the shell maintains a face and clearly has feelings. But they say it's unrelated, it's just a shell. Baby Grimer. To be fair, Grimer are rather large for a base form, so I can see it. Remoraid and Octillery. Is that hair? Octillery is originally designed as a blondie, or is it a cap? Cannot tell. Either way, I prefer the final product of both. Gong. Looks cool, although Tyrogue is cooler. Remember the days Hitmontop was spinning on its top? I miss them. Hope to revert to that animation. Yet another baby Pokemon. Growlithe. Alright. Oh my gosh. Hoppip was spooky. Is that a Schlong? That got bigger as it evolved? Oh, what? Oh, man. That's something right there. And what's with this Mr. Mime Jr. was based upon? Smoochum and its evolution had to be redesigned because of, racial controversies. Ellicott the way it is now is much better than its earlier form. As for Magby, I prefer the one on the left because of the crown-shaped head. Blossom evolves from Gloom to Poison Stone, changed to Pure Grass in final game. I prefer the one we have now. Green skin, pink flowers, pink dress, everything's perfect with that. And of course, the original one had black skin, so you know that wasn't going to go over well. They had to change that. Weeping Bell evolution evolves with a Poison Stone. All these stone evolutions that could have been a walking plant. However, Victory Bell is too memeable for me not to like it over this. That is one fat cow. If they went with that, I wonder what they would have done with its speed stat, because the one we got now is bipedal and fast. Water Firebomb Seal. I'm all for it. Water Ice Delibird wearing a Santa hat makes perfect sense. I suppose they changed it for a particular reason I won't mention in this video, and changed the typing to Ice Flying because of the dozens of water ice types they've already introduced. We've got Cloyster, Dugong, Lapras, to name a few, I think. Kotora? So this is the electric rodent of Generation 2 we never got. And it evolves. Love the stripes on the back sprite. Nowhere near an actual tiger though. Farfetch'd evolution looks amazing. Should have gotten it. Is that a mask it's wearing? His name is Madame, and it's wielding a scepter of some kind? I get it. What do we have here? Ghost Bear evolves at level 1, even though that's impossible, into a panda? Okay. The pre-evo is impaled by something. It goes clean through the body because it's a ghost. I understand. But that's way too dark for kids to play with. I suppose that's why they changed it. Murkrow hasn't changed much except for the hat, which I believe is because of certain reasons. Blissey looks like a child in this. I think this is what eventually developed into Happiny in Generation 4. So Scyther was originally meant to maintain its appearance and remain bug flying. However, I'm not upset with the red bug, steel type, and scissor in the slightest. Pinsir evolves into Plux. This thing has no face. You can barely see it. Houndour and Houndoom, I prefer the dark fire typing along with the more intense palette of red and black. Wolfman and Werewolf Both ice would have been nice. Porygon 2 looking way too different than Porygon. Not really an evolution if it becomes animalistic. Early Licky Licky. Honestly, I prefer this over the giant pink blob we're stuck with now. Steelix, same deal with Skarmory, different shading to resemble steel typing. Kingdra, oh my gosh, this was boss. Nothing against the current one, but this right here, it's amazing. Alright, we're nearing the end here. Raikou. Black and white, playing no games. Looks like a much cooler version of Zebstrika. I just love them colors. If only they had it in them to keep it. Entei looks like Arcanine Ninetales merged into one. Not a fan, prefer what we have. Suicune just looks miserable. It fits though, given the typing and lore. Sneasel hardly looked like a dark type. Glad they changed it with an ice typing to boot. Ho-Oh, the majestic bird who created the legendary beast. Love that color scheme. Despite how limited it is on the Game Boy Color, it only got better from here. Originally pure flying, would have been interesting, however we have Tornadus now. Togepi's shell got more colorful, with no evolution at the time. Still a work in progress with Togetic, and then later on Togekiss. Psychic type Snubbull, female only, no evolution. Changed to normal, well now it's a fairy along with his evolution Granbull. Apom's black and white. Changed to purple so as not to offend, just like with Smoochum and Jinx. And last we have Leafeon, evolves from Eevee with a Leaf Stone. Well, that answers our question as to what happened with Eevee not evolving with a Leaf Stone. Leafeon eventually made it into the game, sure, however, instead of a stone, you level it up next to a Moss Rock, which is unique, I guess, suppose. However, I prefer the Leaf Stone method just because it is an original evolutionary stone, and it kind of bothers me, you know. So if we scroll down, we see everything that exists in the final version of Gold and Silver. So if we go all the way down, that's everything here. Might as well read this small paragraph here. Unreleased Pokemon. Out of the 100 new Pokemon, only 60 of the new Pokemon were officially released as part of Generation 2, while 29 of the unreleased Pokemon underwent minor or major design revisions before release. There were 13 unreleased Pokemon which extended the evolution families of the original 151, an additional 4 which were not a part of Generation 2 but may have influenced Pokemon in later generation. Example, Gen 4's Tangrowth, Licky Licky, Leafeon, and Mime Jr. Alright, and there we have it, you guys. My thoughts on all the scrap Pokemon designs from Generation 2. I hope you enjoyed this rather long analysis. Leave your thoughts down below. Which one's your favorite, least favorite? Thank you all so very much for watching. Have yourselves a good one. Peace out.